okay, come, this is what I'm saying. Home as your wife, then it means that she's more. She can, when you feel bad, she's someone you can turn to and say, "Come, this is how I feel at the moment. This is how I feel at the moment. I'm not happy. Okay, why are you not happy? This is it. My work. This is what's happening at my work. So that we, and she will come through, no matter how hard. She will come through, even if she tells you, babe, just calm down, my love, just calm down, and everything will be all right. Just calm down. It's enough. It's enough for you as you. I mean, I've understand based on my little principles from the Bible that God made the woman. That's why God called the woman a helper, a helpmate. A helpmate. So she's somebody you need for help. She's somebody you need for assistance. She's somebody you need for support.
That's right.
She's somebody. So if the Bible calls a woman a helpmate, and at least from my study of the Bible, I understand that the only person that the Bible calls a helper is the Holy Spirit. And after then, it was a woman that the Bible called a helper.
That's correct.
Helper. So I mean, it means that she plays that role. She plays that role, but many men don't explore that part of the role because they feel now kilo more. Men are afraid to explore that part of being a helper. And the high time the women too realize that they are not just the wives to be giving birth in the house, they are not just to be asking, they are also to play the part of an helper, play the part of the helper where they can talk to their husband, where they know when their husband is happy, they know when he's not happy, they know when he's down, that they can do things or say things to comfort him and say, come, don't worry, it will be fine. It will be fine. It will be fine. I went through a downtime of recent where I wrote an exam and I didn't pass and I felt really bad. Come on, I felt like I disappointed myself. I felt like I failed myself and my family and all that. And she came, she was like, come, so far I'm seeing you alive. It's enough for me. You can write this exam again and pass. It's not the end of it. So far I'm seeing you alive. It's enough for me. So please don't feel bad for yourself. Don't hate yourself. Don't hate yourself for me about it.
Yeah, but would you go as far as to say that a lot of that comes from society and community, because of the way that the world, especially I wouldn't go as far as saying African world, because I think you'll find that even in Britain, a lot of these old school families believe that men don't cry. Do you understand? And a lot of people have been brought up that way to the point now where, society believes that, yes, it's only women that hurt and men don't hurt, so a man has got to suck it up, and take it as it comes. Would you go as far as to say that society plays a big part in most of what you're talking about?
Yes, that's why I said it's a general thing. It's not only Africa alone. I mean, it's a general thing in the society where men are seen as, even anywhere you go in the world, men are seen as, yes, you're supposed to suck it up. Don't talk. You don't express your feelings. Do you have feelings? Men don't have feelings. They don't have emotions. You tend to suck it up. So it's not only an African mentality. It's a general mentality. You know, the only thing that Africa just took it to another level by saying, okay, yes, oh, women are relegated to this place. Women are just, their own position is just in the kitchen and in the other room. You know, when it comes to markers of decision, women don't have a say. Women don't have things. Women don't. So I feel that Africa only took it to a notch higher, right? Where, you know, so which I feel that then it was really, really rampant. Where if your woman even wants to say things, you're like, no, what are you saying? If you are a woman, even if you say something, they don't regard it. Like, you're a woman, what do you know? I beg you, a woman, what do you know? This. But now things are changing. The understanding is, I think we are beginning to have that understanding more than before, which I encourage that understanding should be more. There should be more awareness on that men to have that place to cry. And that's why anytime they are celebrating, you know, Father's Day, Men's Day, Day of the Boy Child, International Day for Boy Child, all those things and all that, you know, there should be, I feel there should be more emphasis on it to make sure that every man too they have a heart, they have emotions, they have blood flowing in their veins, they have a mind, they are soft-hearted too. They can cry, they can think, they can sulk, they can complain. They can complain. You know, it is high time we start to make people feel like, we start to make everybody, the society, understand that narrative. Yes, men are the head, men are seen as the head, they are the ones in positions of power, in position of, you know, making decision makers, change makers, and all those things. But at the same time, behind that change maker of a thing, there is a man who is soft-hearted, who wants to cry, who feels bad when he takes a bad decision, or when things don't turn out the way he wants it to turn out. There is a place for him to also cry, to also express his emotions, to also feel down. And there's a place of people who also come and comfort him and say, "Come, don't worry, everything will be fine. Just take it cool. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Don't hit it hard on yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad. Everything will be fine." That enough will help a lot of men to feel better. That enough will go a long way for men too, because they know that they have somebody who can say, "Don't worry, everything is going to be all right. Just be calm." That's why it makes a whole lot of thing better. It makes a whole lot of sense. So for me, it's not only an African mentality, it's a general mentality. It's a general mentality. Anywhere in the world you see that, man, you know, if a man talks, they will say, "Oh, come on, you are a weakling. If a man should say this, if a man should try to do what I should." But if a lady hits a guy, for example, there's every possibility that they might forgive the lady. The lady might come out and say, "Oh, I was this, I was that, so I was prompted to do this," you know. But if a guy should just hit a lady or touches the lady anyhow, everybody will be so hard on him and say, "Oh, you are like this, you are an animal, you are animal, you are this, you are this, you are not supposed to be this." And I've come to realize that a lot of people that are being jailed for domestic violence, or rape, for domestic violence, rape, and all those kind of things, I feel that sending them to jail cells is not really doing the right thing for them. Why do I say that? Is that while they are in jail, there's supposed to be a place of rehabilitation. There's supposed to be a place of de-radicalization. There's supposed to be a place where they try to understand. Because when you trace it, a woman beater, a man who is who violates his wife or woman, or who is that, if you find out, you trace it that there is a background issue to it. There's always a background issue. By the time you find out, you realize that probably the person grew up in a toxic environment, or the guy grew up amidst, you know, Maybe if his father and his mother, that's how they do to each other. His father always beats his mom. His father shouts at his mom anyhow, or his father shouts at his mom anyhow, or somebody in the environment where she is, maybe the guy lived with her aunt or lived with her uncle, where that is what is happening. So those kind of things informs their decision that, okay, the best way to make a lady listen, the best way to make a man listen, the best way to tell a lady is that if I shout at her, the best way is to shout at her, the best way is to nag, the best way is to always shout at her anywhere, have the opportunity to talk down at her, because that is the way a woman should be treated. Because so you will see that if you will find out that it's a foundational problem. The person had picked it up from the environment he has grown up. Maybe his parents, maybe he stayed with the grandma, he stayed with their uncle or an aunt, where they violate, they beat each other. They beat each other. You have not seen in a family where the woman will pick up, let me say it in Yoruba, that will say, King, Baba olóògbé yóò ti jí àbí. Baba olóògbé yóò ti jí. Ṣé kò yẹ kó ti jí time yìí? Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ṣe pé ọkùnrin ẹgbẹ́ ṣé nǹkan táwọn ọkùnrin ẹgbẹ́ ṣe lè ó ṣe ń sùn dídá. You get what I'm saying? All those kind of things sends a kind of signal to the child while growing up that is the best way to treat a man or to treat a woman. Even ladies to go through that too. Ladies to go through that too. So the same way. So that's why I said that until they start treating the problem from the foundation, start realizing that this thing is actually a foundational problem. Many of these guys that they sent to jail for jail term for domestic violence, they might not actually it's every possibility that the thing they might still do it again if they don't treat the problem from the source. There is always a foundation to a lot of things. You don't just act on impulse. Yes, the thing might be dormant. After you've picked that thing from, that's why it's important that whatever we do in front of our kids matters a lot. It's stored up somewhere. So anytime it needs to be used, maybe for example, when the person is about to get married, those things start playing out automatically. By impulse, it starts playing out. Even it could be as low as that. For example, if for example the man is the wife is always the one going to the father to I don't have to give my wife money until she asks. It's not as if I don't have, but she has not asked, so I cannot do it because she has not asked. He might feel that that's the right way of showing love.
Because that's how he's been brought up.
That's how he was brought up. So until he sees another way of learning that say, come, this is wrong. Your woman is your woman. You have to do things for her. But even if she doesn't ask, as little as you just have to do. You get me? Those things will help. Those things will help. So a lot of things that we do in front of our children kind of informs their decision or their way of thinking while they grow up. So that's just it for me. It's a society thing. It's a society thing generally.
Unfortunately, you're right. In many, many, many different ways. And it's a crying shame that things have to be this way. Well, they don't have to be, but it's just that they are. They are this way, and it's been going on for a long time. I don't know. What do we do? Where do we go? Where do we go? Because I think that we've been on this for quite a while now. You've had all these different groups that have been emerging from the shadows, especially over here in the UK. You know, especially here in the UK, where a lot
Um, when we talk about domestic violence, you know, um, I want to say some certain things about it. First of all, I want to greet you, sir. Excellent morning to you, the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters, in the person of retired Sir Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin. Thanks for all you do to contribute positively to humanity. And I want to greet my sister in the person of, Grace to Grace, Pastor and Grace. Thanks for all you do, contribute positively to humanity. It's a beautiful moment here today, and it's a wonderful moment here today. I greet the Facebook people. I greet um, the YouTube people watching us live about the uh, security revolution, and the topic is let's talk security with retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, and the abuse. This abuse thing is in two ways, and it's not just women that suffer abuse. Even men do suffer abuse, and I want everyone to know this, that a lot of times, a lot of men, keep what they go through. But regardless of what is coming to anyone, I see it as new normal. And we have taught severally in the global clusters, because we have one of the surgeries that talks about survival strategies in the new normal. And because we have one of it that talks about survival strategies in the new normal, we emphasize that anytime such things come first, the first thing you should do is to welcome peace, regardless of what is happening. Embrace peace first. Then, after embracing peace, embrace patience. It's very, very important. If you don't handle abuse very well, abuse can, and this is a surgery you have to perform on yourself. You understand? Number one, because if you did not embrace peace and patience, you discover that you can even mess up. Because anger, they said, is a small madness. And when it happens, if you are not careful, you will even create something that is bigger than that anger itself. So the Global Cluster Community is the first nation building social media platform, and all of these things. I was in a meeting. Sorry for coming a bit late. I was in a meeting with someone that want to champion Ogbomoso, and I told the man. The man said, "Oh, I've tried to bring somebody from this thing." Do you understand? Abuse is not just man and woman. People abuse purpose. People abuse their environment. People abuse themselves. Human beings abuse themselves. You don't know who you are. A lot of people don't know that they are product of excitement, they are product of love, they are product of celebration. You understand? And they abuse all of those things. When you take in drugs, you are abusing yourself. Overeating is abuse. You eat too much, it's abuse. Too much of alcohol, abuse. They make something for cough medicine. You overuse it, dose it to go high. All of these things are abuse. So this topic is a very serious one. And some people might even push you into an abuse, knowingly and unknowingly. So it's something that everybody, but regardless of what it is, what we want everyone to know is that when abuse comes, whether it's physical abuse or is an intellectual abuse or is an abuse that you don't know how to go about it, first, welcome peace. Next, welcome patience. You see, these two things will give you some sort of direction. Because you have welcome patience, you have welcome peace, your mind is cool, then you can take calculated right action. But if you don't welcome them, if the next thing that comes to you is anger, is violence, and I tell you, anger, violence, go check it in the record. Google it, ask AI. They will tell you that has never given back to anything good. But go and check what peace and patience has given back to. That is what I want everyone to take away from it today. Peace, patience have given back to so many good things than anger and violence. And that is why when we talk about nation building, and some people say, we must destroy everything now. Revolution, their own kind of revolution now, not our own kind in the global clusters. This is our revolution we're doing here. We are currently engaging in security revolution right now. And this is our own revolution. Our own revolution is to talk into the mind of the people, to reorient the people on how to develop community, developed nation actually comes to being by developed mindset. A lot of people have faced some physical abuse and they've handled it wrongly. A lot of people have faced some sort of abuse. Even disrespect to a man is an abuse. Because every man values their respect. Not loving your wife the way you should love your wife is an abuse. So just for you to know, as a man, you're supposed to love your wife. As a woman, you're supposed to respect and submit your husband. If you're not doing all of those things, they are abuse. When this thing happens, what do? Welcome peace, welcome patience. As against violence and anger. Because peace and patience will give back to something great for you. Your well-being, the result that peace and patience are. Go and ask AI, ask YouTube, ask Google what peace and patience can give back to in any situation. Peace and patience can give back to great stuff. Why anger and violence, only bring about destruction, death. Why disagreements bring about war. And what is the aftermath of war? Destruction, heavy destruction. And that is why we're saying today that yes, will abuse always come in our society? Yes, we always see it. But our reaction to it matters. How we handle it matters. When someone disrespects your person, how do you handle it? Please, anytime I see abuse as a new normal, as an abnormal thing. I agree. So if any new normal comes We have told you for every clusterian. And that is why we said, don't miss meeting. If you miss, go and watch. Because we are mining ourselves into becoming a nation builder. A clusterian shouldn't be in a place and it be too. A clusterian shouldn't be in a place where then Daru. You are not a clusterian. If a clusterian is in a place and there is scatter, there is all of those things, you are not a clusterian. You are not a true clusterian. Just to let you know. A true clusterian is a nation builder. A true clusterian is a peacemaker. A true clusterian will put people together. That is when you are a clusterian. So I was telling the man in Ogbomoso today, he said, I've tried to bring a project and the project did not see the light of the day. I said, you want to plant on a ground that is not fertile. Who will receive the project? Why do you think we meet every Saturday and talk about security? We are trying to put manure in the land to build a formidable security system, not just for Nigeria, not just for Africa, but for the whole world. Why do you think we meet on mind surgery? Why do you think we meet on humanity revolution? Why do you think we meet on genuine love revolution? Why do you think we meet on, ARE concept, on people-to-people concept? Why do you think we put people together to train them on marketing, on sales, on operations? Why do you think we do all of this training? In my mother's tongue, only ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló dáyé tá wà yìí sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló dáyé tá wà yìí sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò gíga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló ń gbé ní dépò ọlá. Ẹ̀dàkúnlé ẹ̀yin òbí wa, tẹ́ bá nowó tẹ́ fi lè rán wa. Ẹ̀kọ́, learning, quality and accurate learning is the best thing that can ever happen to anybody. If you are a human being and you are not adding value to yourself on a daily basis, you are depreciating. And that is why the global clusters is a platform for all. We've written to EFCC, we've written to the police, we've written to the custom, we've written to the immigration, we've written to everybody. Last week, I was with our former president, retired General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. And Baba said, when we explained the concept of the global cluster to Baba in Mina, Baba said yes to the global clusters. Baba said, it's worth giving a shot. That was his response. NDLA said yes to us. NYC said yes to us. There's nobody that we have actually presented the concept of the global clusters to. They knew this is the solution. We cannot be abusing our leaders. We cannot be bringing down our own nation and say we want it to be better. Think about your own nuclear home. If every day you guys talk each other down, are you going to build? Are you going to increase? Are you going to move forward? So if there is an abuse can actually metamorphose into something great. It depends on the way you handle it. Handling situation should be one of the major things that every clusterian and non-clusterian should embrace for nation building. Patience and peace. Put peace in your heart. Number one, the peace, where are you? Patience, where are you? Because once those two comes, it will give you are sane then. You are not insane. But when anger and disagreement or violence comes, you are insane. You are not, because it has been proven times to that number that anger is a small madness. So a madman can pull anything. But a sane man, people will say, wọ́n fún ní gbàgbós báyìí, òun náà ni. Ẹ wo bó ṣe handle gbàgbós yẹn. Tí ó bá handle ẹ̀bẹ̀, ṣé kó para ẹ̀? Ṣé kó para ẹ̀? So, how do you handle all of these things is very, very important. The truth of the matter is that life consists of the two sides of the coin. Where there is no abuse, there is peace there, right? But the truth of the matter is that life presents to us both ends. You will not always have it good. Sometimes, consciously and unconsciously, we abuse ourselves. Sometimes you will see that even me, there's some meal madam will prepare, because that meal is so sweet, I'll go and overeat. Am I not abusing myself? Sweet. When undo F me this, what it do? Don't go do yet. You get it? So consciously and unconsciously is something that happened to us. You understand? Some of us, it's not part of our life. We drink. I'm not saying drinking is bad, but it wants too much. Ensure that you don't overdo. Overdo, they destroy you. Abuse can happen, but the way you handle abuse will now tell you the aftermath of what the abuse will metamorphose to, whether a good thing or a bad thing. As a matter of fact, and this principle applies to everything in life, how you handle situation will give you what does that situation will metamorphose into. And I regard them as new normal. A good new normal can turn to be bad. People abuse prosperity. Yes. People abuse good news. I saw a man, anxiety, good news. Get to what you get here. So that is why when we talk about mind surgery, capacity building, come to the global cluster, come and learn training, it's so that you can build your mind. Some people have not built their mind to handle something. Think of me by somebody, my drown one, my dream one. And that is why we have created this platform so that everybody come and learn. Come and learn. I believe you have picked one or two things, today. Come and learn. Come and learn. Yes. No matter what it is, I don't know who is going through abuse right now that is watching me. Please embrace peace and patience and just get someone that you can pour out your heart to. If you want to cry on that person's name. And, someone that, because everybody needs confidence in life. You need to, you cannot live, you are not created to live life on your own. You understand? That is why we are on this earth to complement one another. When we are not doing it rightly, that is when it feels that we are alone in life. So, having said that, I want to hand over the mic to the whole O1 Global Security Cluster of the Global Cluster. Thank you.
That was absolutely amazing. It's just a little bit of a pity that obviously we already know you. You're always busy. Someone's always trying to drag you off somewhere. But earlier on, when we first started, we had a couple of people on. One of them was Dr. Jennifer Obaseki, who, as you've known from past meetings on a Saturday is a barrister here dealing with civil rights matters. And she was here this morning talking about domestic violence, amongst most things, and giving a few examples of cases that she's had to cover. More importantly, with regards to persons who come over to the UK and or to other countries that come here humbly, but once they get here, mix in with the wrong crowd and get given the wrong advice on how to, especially the women, on how to prosecute the men who brought them over, claiming or citing domestic violence, just so that they can get free houses and free benefits, etc., and so forth. When she came on, she did leave her details for people who these sort of things are have affected, or she has asked that people contact myself to get her details. One of the reasons why a lot of this came up was we were treating the topic of security and incitement, because I started off talking about the gentleman in America who was assassinated this week for by one of his own. And as a lot of people know that in today's money, especially in places like America, it is of the impression that only a certain type of people commit certain crimes. But the reason why I went into that was, obviously, as we all know, I talk about security and mainly security. That where was the security? You know, what are the security persons looking at, or where is the intelligence? You know, now as people, when we go out doing our daily business or whatever it is that we do on a daily basis, you know, are we careful enough to take in our environment? Are we careful enough to take notes or notes of what is going on around us, what's being said, or what you see? You know, in today's money, because a lot of people, I believe, are taking note of the fact that today there is a lot of incitement going on. We heard the President of the United States praising this young man, claiming that he was he would have been a future president of America. Now, what does that mean for us as a people? His Excellency knows very well my stance when it comes to making Africa and Nigeria great again, which is our new mantra, right? That's right. You know, and I'm calling on people today, and I've been calling on people.
The manga movement.
That's right. You know that I'm not inciting people to do violent things. I'm not inciting people to fight these people. What I'm inciting people to do is for us to wake up, right? We spend so much time and energy praising what comes out of the West, whereas, you know, we have a lot of brilliant people in that great nation called Africa, right? A lot of great people. You know, what happened to taking that brain, all those experiences that we've built up over the years, right, and concentrating it on that great nation called Africa? You know, now as I've rightfully pointed out, the white supreme system is now imploding, right? They have found it very difficult to look at the way this man was unalived last week, in the sense that it was done by one of their own. It wasn't done by somebody from the other side of the spectrum. It was done by somebody on their own side of the spectrum who didn't agree with a lot of what they were doing, right? So he wasn't somebody from the right, he was somebody from the right. You know, now, do we as a people just sit back and sympathize with the loss of another life? Or do we gather our wits about us and try to make Africa and Nigeria great again? Right? These are the questions. You know, these are the questions that we're asking ourselves. These are the questions that we need to ask. You know, because we have more than enough of what it takes to go back to our nation with what is ours, with what we've got, with what we've gained, right, and build. And this is what the global clusters is all about. This is, as His Excellency has rightfully pointed out, you know, this is our this is our form of revolution. You know, we're not telling people to go out there and fight. We're not telling people to go out there and be defiant. What we're telling people to do is to recognize what you have now, right? We are building. You know, this is, as we've called it, the new normal. We are building, right? We're building legacies, not just for ourselves, but for our children and our children's children. You know, we're building legacies. I deal with security because I'm passionate about security. You know, I've missed out on a couple of meetings over the last few weeks, with one of them obviously with His Excellency IBB, and meetings with some of the other excellencies in Nigeria. But I'm going to catch up. You know, that goes without saying. I will be catching up because all these people are people that I would also like to sit down with, you know, and to, you know, to give them my perspective from a security angle, because His Excellency can only do so much. But the thing is this, I would like people to have the same mindset. You know, I don't want to wither and go in this nation without having to come back to my nation, right, and impart my experiences and my knowledge and my opinions over in my father's country. You know, and this is what we need to be doing. We need to be building. Our mind surgeries take us there, right? All these fantastic minds that have been gathered together under the umbrella of the global clusters, right? It doesn't matter what your company name is. My company is Clear Cross Group Limited, but it will soon be Clear Cross Global, because I'm going to be registered in Nigeria very soon. So we're going global. Why? Because of the fact that whatever it is that we have, it can't just be this country that's benefiting from it. Nigeria has to benefit from it. Ghana has to benefit from it. Senegal, Burkina Faso has to benefit from it. Everybody has to benefit from it in the nation of Africa, right? His Excellency, you know, God bless him, he's based in Turkey, right? The Turkish people know him, right, for what he does, right? And if the Turkish people know him, a lot of Europe knows him already for what he does. And as His Excellency has rightfully pointed out, before we send it out there to the people who are not of color like ourselves, let's grab it, let's tag it, let's bag it, right? Let's make good use of it, let's benefit from it, right? And then we can employ people from Europe and all these white countries to come and work for us and not necessarily with us. Because that's what we do at the moment. We're here in the UK working for. We're there over there in America working for. Right? But it's time that people came to work for us in the nation of Africa. Right? They need to come and work for us in the nation of Africa. Because I mean, I've listened to Trump. Right? I've listened to him many a time. Right? You know, they're making out that yes, America is so great that without America, nothing works. In this country, they're making out, oh yeah, Britain is so great. Without Britain, nothing works. Okay, fine. You know what? Here's a test and a trial. And I know this is live, and I challenge anybody to put it out there. Tell America and Britain to take out everything that is African from their nation, and we'll see how well it works. Right? Anything that is African, take it out of your nation, give it back to Africa, right? And send the African people back to Africa, right? And we'll see how long your kingdoms last, right? And that is a fact, right? That is a fact. You've got Donald Trump begging for all the people that they deported to be allowed to come back now, because all the work that these people did, right? His people can't do it. Right? His people cannot do it, right? Yet you stood there claiming, you know, you want to make America great again by removing all these people, right? That by removing all these people, the American people will be able to function, right? You now remove them and realize that they can't function without these people, and now you want them back again, right? Now, as a security person, I'm going to say this because I can, right? When all these white nations are claiming that we people of color are the biggest criminals in the world, right? Go back and look at your statistics, right? We have a fantastic comedian Chris Rock, who once said, look at the crimes committed by black people and look at the crimes committed by white people, and you will see that black people commit stupid crimes, right? Crimes that they really only need to be slapped across the face for, right? Whereas the Americans and white people, they commit major crimes, right? A black person in America will pull out a firearm and rob you for a watch or for your trainers, right? But a white person in America will go into the bank, the major bank, and they will rob a major bank or a major institution, right? Or they will start cults, so they will murder masses of people. Black people don't have that kind of time on their hands, right? So when we're talking security, we're talking crime, right? And this is why I keep telling people, right? Let's know what we're doing, right? Let's know what we are doing, right? Let's think about going to a place and honing our talents in a place where you will not only be respected, but where you will be recognized, right? The global clusters is a very good starting point, because all you need to do is to speak to one of the many 001s or 002s in any sector. You know, I like to see myself as a fantastic example of a lot of the things that goes on in the clusters. You know, there's been a few incidences that have happened around me of late, and I've handled it in the way that I think is the best, right? I don't do face and I don't do favor, right? And I know that my little sister is also listening, and she knows, right? I don't do face and I don't do favor, right? If you put in to the global clusters, you will get out of the global clusters. If you don't put in, you don't get out. If you're lazy, right? If you're lazy, you'll be shown that you're lazy. No one's going to abandon you, right? Nobody's going to abandon you, right? But you will be shown that there is a right way and there's a wrong way to go about things, right? You have to put in 100% effort. Get recognized for your efforts, and then you will reap the benefits of this organization called the Global Clusters. We're not here to fight. We're not here to argue. We're not here to raise villains. We're here to raise champions, right? We are here to raise champions. And in raising champions, right, you have got to be passionate about what you do, right? Because as much as we are here to carry people, we're not here to carry people, right? And I take my hat off to that gentleman who has just finished speaking in the person of His Excellency Dr. Badmus, for setting that example, right? And for listening to a lot of the things that I have spoken to him about, right? I don't do favor, right? I don't do favor, right? I do champion, I do success, I do progress. And that's what the global clusters is about. Ever since I joined the clusters, I want people to understand that in the year plus that we've been on here, a lot of stories have come to light of people succeeding, right? And getting recognized for the work they do. Alaya TV, I salute you. Thank you for coming on board. I do apologize. His Excellency was speaking. That was why I couldn't salute you earlier on. Thank you for coming on board. It's been a long time.
We have someone on the string yard too.
Okay.
I think it's Fela.
Yes, I see him. Yes, yeah. Yes.
It's security cluster of the global clusters and the security revolution. What's your take, please? Let's hear from you. Allow the team. Unmute yourself and talk to us, please.
Excellent morning to you, my global person.
Good morning.
And excellent morning to my
Come on.
my president. Me, I'm just chilling. I just put a picture there that That picture should represent me.
I don't recognize the picture.
President. I was looking for you. I was actually looking for you. I wanted to call you. And I later realized you are on live on TikTok. So I had to come here.
No, sorry now.
I was just following you up and down, monitoring. So I intentionally pointed here so that as soon as you finish, I'll just follow you out of this. Because I knew that after you left this place, you might have another.
Follow him everywhere and see if we can catch him just.
Up and down. Before we can get our global president.
That's the thing. You've got to know how to get him.
My global president,
That's right. Tell it like it is.
My brother, Mr. Oshin, how have you been? How are you doing?
I'm humble, sis. I'm very humble.
The Lord got you.
Amen. Amen.
Nigeria again.
Don't worry. I'll be back very, very soon. Very, very soon.
You have to press the car across and let me know you're back.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Because I would like to take you out, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My global president, well done, sir. I'm with you. You can just continue the show. So I just come here to, you know, I'm following my president and I'm here to twirl my president.
Alaya, just a quick question before you sign off. Right? We're talking domestic violence.
Okay.
Right? We're talking domestic. It's not a new topic at all. Now,
Okay.
I've had a few people on today, you know, who have given serious accounts of domestic violence and how it affects society, especially since being Africans, being Nigerians, so different people see it different ways. Now, what is your take? How do you view domestic violence, past, present, and possibly future? What's your view on domestic violence?
Okay. Well, I would like to contribute little because you see, when it comes to domestic violence, this thing it's something that starts from the beginning, especially when it has to get the two gender involved, like male and female, maybe husband and wife, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend. Do you understand? See, there is no way domestic violence is going to start. Each of them or one of them will start seeing the signal, but probably neglect the signal that okay, I just want to go for this person. I still want to go for this person. Because there is no way the red flag will be everywhere. Do you understand? We just lost a lady, just 30-something-year-old lady, and she has 2 kids. You won't be surprised that during the time that they were together, they just started and they've not even get to marriage level. This lady has observed that this guy has been so abusive. And I wonder why you have to embark on that kind of journey. You don't understand. You still continue to the extent you guys get married and this abuse continue. Now, the lady cannot, the lady does not have any rights or whatsoever, you know. Even before they had to go together to get an apartment, they were together with the wife family, and the guy is still abusing the lady.
Are you there? I think we've lost them for a second. Are you still there? looks like her network has decided to kick in. Yeah, we've lost her. But I think I know where she's going. Alaya, if you can hear me, please come back in. We were just getting into that, and it was beginning to sound very interesting. But yeah, you know, domestic violence, it affects a lot of people, and it affects some people in different ways. You know, it's a sad state of affairs that people do have to go through this sometimes. You know, but by the grace of God, I think we are every single day we're gaining more knowledge on how we can best combat the domestic violence, and we're working on ways and means to recognize the red flags, most especially where relationships are concerned. Because
okay, I think Alaya is coming back.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. Okay. Alaya is coming back in. After Alaya, we have Mr. Pale over on StreamYard.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have him talk to us.
Yes, please. Alaya, are you back?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, I just stopped hearing everybody.
Yes, yeah, that's probably a network. Yeah, carry on. We were enjoying that. Carry on.
Okay. So the mother was telling the daughter that she does not want her own story to be like as that the lady should just continue with that kind of abuse marriage. To the extent that the lady is practically sharing different things inside the house with the husband. The husband has a separate pot, the wife has a separate pot. Can you imagine? And this lady, she's I don't know, maybe she has this ailment, this diabetes or something. So the guy has been beating the lady, maltreating the lady, and this lady had a crisis. And the children were telling the guy to take their mom to hospital. The guy did not even shake. The guy was just pressing phone.
Wow.
As I'm speaking to you, this lady, she has been buried.
What?
I wonder why the mother will be saying because you don't want her to be like your own. And you allow that lady to continue with that kind of abusive relationship. Now the lady, she's dead. Is it by force? Must you marry the abusive relationship? Must you manage it? Why do you have to manage that kind of abusive relationship in the sake of you don't want your this thing to be like who cares? Now will the guy not continue his life?
Yep.
The guy will continue his life. Now the lady, she's dead. So as far as I'm concerned, if this thing is not working, just go on your separate way. It's not by force.
That's right.
Go on your separate way. Just choose your peace. Just maintain your peace. Go your separate way. Just it's not by force. Do you understand?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So people should just be careful because you've seen the red flag. You think red flag is something you can nurture. It's something you can embrace. No. Once you see it, just pack your slippers. Alele, run. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
That is my own take on it. I don't usually like to talk about it, but that's my take. That's my take on it.
Well, you see, as I said earlier on when I was speaking to another gentleman who was on earlier on,
Network.
when we was yeah, we can hear you. You know, we were talking to another gentleman earlier on, and we obviously pointed out the stigma attached to a lot of people, especially men. You know, now I don't know why culturally we seem to believe that if you don't stay, for the sake of the children, or you don't stay because people will look at you a certain way, or you don't stay, as in some communities, because you don't want your village people or your church community or your church family to see you a certain way, you're going to feel like you've been disgraced or you're going to be embarrassed, because of the fact that you haven't stayed put, right? Those stigmas have got to stop. I've always said to people, even when I'm training them in security, the most important person in that environment at that time is me. Right? Me. I'm number one. Right? If I'm not safe and secure in my environment, if I'm not safe and secure, or if I don't feel safe and secure in any situation, it is my duty to remove myself from that situation. Right? There's only one solution to most of these things, and that one solution is remove yourself. Because when you remove yourself, as in the words of Bob Marley, if you fight and run away, you live to fight another day. Right? You've got to feel safe within your environment. You've got to feel safe in in whatever. Right? Because if you get unalived, as this young lady was, right, then you no longer have the opportunity to tell your side of the story. You know, everybody has to go with the story that they've got. So as human beings, we owe a duty to ourselves to be sensible. That being said, right, we also have a duty to our fellow human beings to not only do the right thing, but also to say the right thing. Right? Many a person today, especially within the African community, right, has come off worse due to the fact that people around haven't done or said the right thing at the right time. And this is why I'm going to go back again and say it is important for people to join and participate in a lot of the mind surgeries that go on today, because there's a lot of knowledge out there that people actually are unaware of, right? And it is our duty, right, as human beings, right, to make ourselves aware of a lot of these things that are going on in society today, especially when you actually have the privilege of these mind surgeries. Now, I'm going to bring the global president back in again, right? Because he is best placed to tell a lot of us today, right? To tell a lot of us today about these mind surgeries, because a lot of these mind surgeries are all connected to security, right? So I'm going to call His Excellency in again to tell people about these mind surgeries. Your Excellency, over to you, sir.
Just to back you up, once you are feeling very unsafe in a place, you understand it's very important that you excuse yourself. What I would say is that don't let anybody kill you. Because if they kill you, only my action peace, sometimes peace the allergy. And even the back 5 years ago, that does not bring you to this step back.
That's right.
Do you understand? So whether they get justice or they don't get justice, it does not bring you back. So don't allow anybody to kill you. Just like I said, when you apply patience and peace, and you see that the person is becoming violent, and the person is applying anger and violence, it's better you excuse yourself. Just to, and that is the reason why we come up with all of these surgeries, you know, as to how to relate, you know, how to perform surgery on yourself, the mind surgery evolution, to the survival strategies in the new normal, because this abuse can be tantamount to a new normal, and how do you address it is really, really very important. So we look at the possibility of handling that present situation, and the only way you can handle it is to have your sanity. So, and that is what we have been hammering on. And the place of genuine love can equally help you handle abuse better. You know,
when you try as much as possible to educate the person, in all that doing, just make sure that you are not staying where you are constantly being abused despite all that you're doing. It's good that you excuse yourself, and when you leave the place, you will leave to actually give the testimony when the person now realizes what he or she has lost. So the surgeries that we're doing in the global clusters, there are 11 right now. And this 11 is holistic. It talks about from the mind surgery to the survival strategies to the humanity revolution and to the genuine revolution to the ARE concept, to the B2B, meetings that we do every Thursday to the accurate connection revolution, same Thursday, to the certificate revolution, as I put it yesterday. So let's talk about security with the Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin every Saturday morning and every evening to accurate knowledge and information by Professor Olati Pupo Abubayo in the evening, and to the people-to-people revolution that we're going to have tomorrow. I tell you, it's a no-brainer. You cannot be part of this great movement, this great intellectual movement, and remain the same. But I want to call that fella over on the stream here to add his voice to this topic. What's your take on the domestic violence? Mr. Felauba, can you unmute yourself and talk to us, sir? Mr. Felauba, yeah. Okay, maybe it's not.
Yeah, he's probably busy.
All right. So, I think if the 001 global security cluster commitment to growth, I think we have done justice to this.
I believe we have, yes. Before you close, I'd just like to let you know that I have posted Dr. Jennifer Obaseki's details on the Global Clusters Forum for anyone who feels that they could need any help, either civil rights, domestic violence, or whatever, because she's a fantastic champion for all these cases and causes. So if anybody needs her stuff, her details are all on the Global Clusters WhatsApp forum, and they're very accessible to anybody who needs them.
It will be good for you to put it on the latest gist on the hand too.
Yeah.
In the Global Cluster hand.
Sure.
You go to the latest gist and put it that too for people.
Sure.
To miss such opportunity. I want to announce to everyone, the Spark Hub is almost done. By next week, we should have a free Spark Hub for people to be part of it. And I equally want to announce this to everyone. I need Sir Michael Gbenga Oshin in Nigeria. Please help me bring him to Nigeria. Help me settle him down to Nigeria. It is most of his work is what I've been doing, putting the ACP, the CP, the retired major generals, the brigadier generals. He needs to come and meet them and talk to them about security. Yes, he needs to do what he knows how to do the best. You understand? So we need him in Nigeria, and he's UK based, UK born, and he needs to actually migrate to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You could hire him as a consultant in the company on security matters. You could hire him, you could make him head of the security company. You understand? He has all of the expertise, the experience, and he has served with the British Army and retired right now. And he's someone with a very large art, and he's the inventor of a venture called Banga, make African and Nigeria great again. And it's a mantra that it resonated with me, and we believe that it's possible if we are all intentional about it. So I was said that since we said we should close our hands, who we we have a consortium of professionals or aspiring professionals, technocrats or aspiring technocrats, entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industry. Why? Because it gives us the right power, accurate information, because that is the bridge between where we are and where we ought to be. Accurate connection, because to whom we are connected to determines what we collect. We are not just a social media platform with a marketplace with the best monetization in the world. We are the first nation building social media platform on earth. Proudly Nigeria, proudly Africa, to the world of nation building. And to join us, you can be a subscriber for free. You can subscribe in all of the YouTube channels, Facebook channel, and TikTok, X, Instagram, Snapchat, at the Global Cluster is spelled TheGlobalMusters. Or if you're using Safari, you can actually go to www.theglobalclusters.org to get started. And our premium membership is one-time lifetime 61,000 naira, which comes with a discounted UK diploma course that costs almost ₦1 million, and you get it for free on either data analysis, cyber security, certified nursing assistant, mini MBA, business analysis, and so on, and AI courses. So then you can actually sell like a pro in the community as a vendor, where you get to pay just 81,000 and you equally get an advantage to actually get these courses done too. That I want to appreciate everyone for coming back, and I want to say thank you for attending tonight. By 5 p.m. we'll be having accurate knowledge and information revolution. Don't miss it. Subscribe to all of our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel, Michael Gbenga Oshin, and let us build our nation. Be a nation builder until I see you next.
Thank you, and thank you. Your Excellency, always a pleasure, never a chore. And I'm hoping that just like Alaya, I'm going to try and get you on the phone, and then we can have a conversation, about going forward and how we plan to get me over to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so that I can start work properly, and assist in this big task, this fantastic task of nation building. So hopefully I will get to speak to you hopefully within the next hour or so. All right. Thank you very much. Bàbá nìyẹn, ẹ wo iṣẹ́ mà nìyẹn o, ó ga, ṣé wà ókè, ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta, báwo dẹ̀ ni? Ọlọ́run ṣeun, mo ní nígbà tí àbúrò yín realize pé things are where am I? Hold on, bear with me. I think, yeah, it's look.